We all want to build something. I've been wanting to build a YouTube channel forever. As a matter of fact, I already have a channel, just a different channel. It's not really what I wanted to build. So I decided I'm gonna start a new channel. We're gonna do things from zero. I'm gonna make terrible videos for a little while. Today is one of those terrible videos. This is Hurley. Hurley, are you afraid of styrofoam? What is the niche? What is this channel? It's the journey of me starting a channel. And my hope is to get good at doing YouTube. That really is the end goal, to be good at it, and then along the way, help other people create what they want to make on their channels. Sometimes I overthink. You're gonna learn more from doing something than you are from thinking about it. I've watched hundreds of hours of videos teaching me how to make videos. I know how to play the game, I'm just not really good at it yet, I guess. So I've got a ways to go before I get good at it. But the only way at this point to get good at it is to put in some reps. I'm starting with no audience. I'm not telling my friends, I'm not telling my other channel, I'm not telling my mom, I'm not telling anybody, I'm just posting. I'm trying to stay away from the audience being people that know me so that I don't overthink. Because when it's people that know you, you'll overthink it. If I put in the time, put in the work, put in the reps, and I do it for the next 5 years, it's gonna open up doors for me. It's gonna give me opportunities to do things that I won't have the opportunity to do if I just keep sitting around thinking about it. Time to take action. This is just one of those kind of early days videos that I'll look back on and I'll laugh that I made this. But it's also a step in the process. This thing that I'm putting together today, this right here is a metaphor. It's a parable about how you build. You start out and you just start putting it together. And it may take a while and you're gonna learn as you go. I don't know how to put this together. If I just had all these parts and didn't start moving, it wouldn't end up looking like I want it to look in the end. Every little piece matters. If it takes me all day to put it together, I don't think it'll take me all day. I hope so, because I don't have enough hard drive space on my phone to film that whole process if it's going to take me all day. The ideas that I love about building a YouTube channel is that just relies on me. It's whatever I decide to do. Same applies to you. Whatever effort you decide to put into it is what you're going to get out of it. If you get into it and just start going nuts and creating as much as possible and getting better over time, then it's gonna turn out good. You're gonna get something out of it. If you dabble a little bit here, a little bit there, then that's what you're gonna get out of it. Believe it or not, I actually posted my first video on YouTube, man, it's probably more than 15 years ago. But I didn't have a passion to just keep doing that. And I kind of pigeonholed myself into a niche that I didn't really have a passion to create in that niche long term. I think that's going to be one of the keys for you and me if we're going to make channels, if we're going to create content, is we got to find things that we want to talk about. You know, if you're like me, you'll get bored if you're not passionate about it. It's not just finding what the audience wants, but finding what do I want to talk about. I had people that wanted me to make content for that niche, and if I had been consistent in making content in that niche, I think I could have been successful. But I didn't have the passion to do it. I didn't have the desire to do it. This is a metaphor, a parable of building a YouTube channel. You got your big pieces, but then you got your small pieces. That's what's in here. The nuts and bolts of the project. Consistency. The how-to guide. But if you want to build the life that you want, you got to do both, the big things and the little things. It's helpful to listen to the experts and try to know what you're doing. Having a step-by-step process is not a bad idea. Ooh, it's a lot of pieces. The first video you post doesn't do much. Just sits there. Nobody sees it, nobody pays attention, and if you stop right there, you don't get anywhere. Same is true for the second video and the third video. The foundation matters. Build the foundation. The process may be harder than you think it's going to be. We're going to get to where we're trying to go. We're not going to quit. We're going to trust that it's going to work out. It's going to turn out how we want it to turn out. Because once it's built, it's going to change our lives. Maybe set yourself little goals along the way. Little steps. Step 1. Post your first video. Step 2. Repeat step 1. Come up with ideas that you might find interesting along the way. Then along the way, maybe you'll stumble upon something that's really exciting. Before you know it, step 1 is done. I'm not generally the most handy person. I actually prefer creative projects, ideas. I like thinking, but I know thinking only can get you so far. You gotta take action. You gotta do things. You gotta build. Most likely, this is just another video to feed to the algorithm. It's to tell the machine what I'm trying to make, and then the machine will decide if the video is worth sharing with you. If the video is not good, then I learned something, and then I can try something else, you know? Just like your YouTube channel, once you've done it once, you start getting into a rhythm. You learn enough in that first time that you don't necessarily have to look at the roadmap again until you get to a place where you get stuck and you need more information. Sometimes the tools that you start with aren't necessarily the tools you want to keep using. If you got better tools, use better tools, right? Got a better lighting setup, got a better camera. For me on this project right here, I opened up my toolbox and I got one of these instead of these little things that they gave me. And it seems to be significantly better. Tools. We'll set that aside and we'll do it all again. Here's the lesson. Once you've completed your first few videos, don't obsess over them. Don't sit there and admire what you've done. Move on to the next piece. The key is in setting aside the thing that you've already done and continuing the process. Doing it again and again and again till it's done. The good news is, after you've already done it once, you now know how to do it again. I saw a guy online, he said that he put this thing together and he went really slow and it took him an hour. I'm already an hour into this. Don't judge how long it takes you by how long it takes somebody else. My channel may work faster than yours does, or yours may work faster than mine, based on the fact that we already know a little bit about editing know a little bit about lighting, know a little bit of camera stuff. So we already are bringing in skills that other people don't have. Or maybe you don't have those skills, so maybe it takes you longer. Like this thing is taking me longer because I'm not a putter together of things like this, you know? Things like YouTube, you know, we live in an amazing time. We can build communities around ourselves if we're just willing to put ourselves out there. We can reach across the oceans with a camera that is in our pocket all day, every day, and yet most of us just use it to watch other people living their most epic lives. But we have the opportunity to build something. We have the opportunity to create something. Maybe it's only a couple of people that'll ever see it. Why would I put on a video like this? One, because this is only the second video on this channel. So it really doesn't matter if it's good because nobody's following me. It gets the creative juices flowing. I'm recording it. I'm building something while I'm building something else. And then when I go to edit it, I'm gonna learn some stuff there too, you know? I gotta stop saying you know after my statements. It almost sounds Canadian. Yeah, if I was doing this every day, I'd find a better tool than my hand to pound these in. Definitely having the right tools makes a difference. Saves time, makes it quality. Like if I was gonna rebuild this thing, I was gonna start from the beginning, one of the tools I would have pulled out is a hammer. Then my hand wouldn't hurt right now. I just think it would have been smarter not to use my hand as a hammer. You're gonna learn that in your journey making videos. You're gonna do things wrong and you're gonna say, you know what, next time I'm not gonna do that because that's not the best way to do it. And you will learn that there are less painful ways to do the same things. It's the times where you gotta backtrack. Those are the times that I don't love. The time where you do something wrong and you come up with an extra piece and you're like, oh, I needed that extra piece. It's one of the things that I've learned about speaking in front of people is sometimes you say stupid things. And then you have to apologize. You have to go backwards before you can go forwards. It's one of the things about being public. It's also one of the beautiful things about starting with no audience, is you can learn your voice before anybody listens to it. Because right now I'm on a channel that nobody's watching. And I'm telling people how to make a channel. And you may be saying, well, who's this guy to tell me how to make a channel? But I imagine 3 years from now, as I have hundreds of videos telling people how to make a channel, I'll be an expert at that point. Same content, I just have learned my voice. You could be along for that ride, or you can maybe find me later. Another little insight that I've learned about YouTube and being in front of the camera is a lot of times we're at our best when we're in front of the camera. As I'm putting this together, like I said before, I'm not really a handy person. I don't like to spend a lot of time doing this kind of thing. And if I didn't have the camera going, I'd probably be a whole lot more frustrated with the process. But, you know, I like talking. I feel like you're here with me if you're watching. You know, things are a little bit more fun. Weirdly, a little bit more social. Even though I'm by myself in a very warm garage, putting together a thing. I feel like I'm with you. I feel like I'm talking to somebody out there. So everything I'm doing right now is a repeat and an undoing of what I did wrong before. So I've just added a few minutes. Not a few minutes, more than a few minutes to my process. Because that's how you learn. If it's worth doing, it's worth learning. So I guess I'm 2 hours in to a project that should take most people way less time than that. Again, do you notice how often I'm comparing myself to the way other people would do this? There can be value in that, knowing that you're going to get better the more you do it. As long as you're not discouraging yourself from keeping going and just writing yourself off and saying, "No, I guess I'm just not cut out for it. I guess I'll never be successful." You're already successful. You're already doing it. There I am, using my hand as a hammer again. And sometimes you just don't learn. Now I've got the big frame out of the way, and I'm working on the detailed stuff. I think the detailed stuff works. The detailed stuff's important, right? All the little details matter. Build the foundation first, but don't skip out on the little stuff that you still got to do, right? I could probably use this thing in the most rickety way, maybe hurt myself over time. Long after it's fun, can you keep going? When the details get overwhelming, can you keep going? When you get a headache from looking up too much. I don't know if that relates to YouTube at all. I don't know. Give me your take on what that metaphor means. Looking up too much and you start getting a headache. Things that are worth doing are worth doing wrong the first time, if that's what it takes to do it right the second time. Worst case is nothing ever happens to my YouTube channel. Nobody ever watches it. It's still fun for me. It's like having an imaginary friend. You just talk to nobody and see what comes of it. And all I can say is it's made this hot day in my garage far more enjoyable than if I was just doing this project in peace. I'm also an extrovert, which I would say if you're not an extrovert, that's actually an advantage, because like one of the things that I've seen is that introverts seem to thrive on things like this, and extroverts less so, because it can be a lonely process. You spend a lot of time by yourself, whether you're editing or coming up with ideas. So if you're an introvert, don't hold yourself back. That's likely in your favor. Let's pull a bar, squat rack. The thing that you're building is just so you can keep building. If you're building a channel, you're just building the channel so that you can build your life. All right, we're done. I built a squat rack with a pull-up bar while building my YouTube channel, talking to you about it, posting a bad video on my channel again. I hope that you got something out of that. If you want to follow along with my journey, I will keep posting bad videos until I start posting good stuff. So join with me. Let's see how it goes. Thanks, guys.